Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Old World Paranormal Podcast. We have been on quite the streak lately. We have had some amazing guests, uh, probably had more laughter out of the last couple episodes than I think we've had out of the previous 46, um, which of course means this is episode 47. Keeps blowing my mind every week. Just goes up and up, and I can't believe we're 47 episodes in on our second year, still reaching over 10,000 listeners in 40 different countries. Who'd have thought little old world paranormal would be a global sensation? Speaking of global sensation, we have with us a phenomenal guest, one that we got to spend some quality time with here a couple months ago.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What do you mean quality time?
I thought it was quality. She's
I got to
laughing.
keep an eye on you when people come in the building.
Hey, listen, you do you, I'll do me.
You need
But
to,
yeah.
you need to lean in more towards the microphone there.
Okay, sorry. Here, let me put it right in my
He's
face.
got a new microphone.
I do. I've got new stuff.
There you go. That's perfect.
Wow, look at that. Yeah.
Moving up in the world.
All
But
right.
yes, like I said, quality time with our guest today. An amazing person who we've watched on TV for many, many years. Finally got the chance to meet her in person. Today we have her on the podcast from Ghost Hunters, Ghost Nation, and a member of TAPS for quite some time now. Please welcome to the show, Shari DeBenedetti. Try saying that 10 times real fast.
I know, and thank you so much for saying it right. And and thank you for inviting me.
Well, I practiced because I remember you telling us how often your name is mispronounced, so I made sure I got it right.
Thank you. It's all
You're
good.
welcome. Well, thanks for coming on. We appreciate you taking time out of what I know is a busy schedule of making your millions of dollars, according to Wikipedia.
No,
As you're sitting in your Bel Air mansion
I
with
know.
your Ferraris parked out front.
Just so you guys know, off air, she told us she makes $1.2 million per episode
right.
on Ghost
That's
Hunter.
right. That's right.
Per episode.
Jealous.
I had to quit after episode 2.
Oh my God. Yeah, don't I wish? Don't I wish? Can't believe anything that's out there, right?
Unfortunately, people.
She's also 5'8".
Yes.
and a
yes.
half.
And a half. Yeah, don't forget that half.
Yeah, unfortunately, unless you are one person in this industry who shall not be named, you're not making millions of dollars
No.
for doing what Shari does and what the rest of the Ghost Hunters team does, and a lot of paranormal investigators who are on TV. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. We do it
No.
for love and so does Shari.
No, I still have to work my part-time job here. So, I mean, TV is only part-time work. So I do work another part-time at home.
So let's just start it off. Let's go back to the beginning. A lot of people were, surprised when Ghost Nation came out, and they were like, "Who is this lady? Who is this lady?" Because everybody has seen Jason, and Dave and Steve for 15, 16 odd years, and they reboot the show. Well, not reboot Ghost Hunters first, it was Ghost Nation. But we're not going to get all into that. But anyways, so they air it, and there's this little tiny brunette lady in there, very quiet, and everybody in the country's like, "Who is this lady? Where'd she come from?"
She's 5'8".
I know.
Sorry, 5'8".
Well, yes. I wear my big heels when I'm there.
So how did that all come about?
Actually, I started Ghost Hunters filming with them in 2014.
Okay.
And I started on season 10. So I was with Ghost Hunters season 10, season 11, and then all that stuff happened in the middle. And that's when they started Ghost Nation. And then on season 2, I went on to Ghost Nation with them.
Mhm.
And then we took Ghost Hunters back. And so I'm staying with the team. So
Right.
I did start back then. I've known Jason and other TAPS members for a very long time. And I worked with other TAPS groups in my area. And I had my own team in the New England area.
Okay.
So I've worked with them for a long time. I just wasn't on TV.
Right.
So nobody knew me over there, but in New England area, people knew who I was, basically.
Yeah, she's the boss in the New England area for sure.
When
I
that
think she's actually the real boss of everything.
She's the boss.
Jason's just a front.
They just put Jason out front because he's got a resting bitch face. He always looks mad.
And an excellent call.
Well, you know what? To bring that up, and not with him, with me. So when we went on to do the pictures for Ghost Hunters and Ghost Nation, everybody used to always say, "Don't smile, don't," like I need to smile because like, well, I'm getting old, so I need to like lift up my, and so I'm like I need to smile because I need to bring my cheeks up because I'm starting to, I'm getting older, and they're like, and they're like no smiling, you need the the tough look, and I'm like, ugh. So all these pictures, I have to do my resting bitch face look, and so with that, on top of when people first knew me on Ghost Nation, I was the girl who was watching the monitors. So I did go in and investigate. I did exactly what I do now. I did that on Ghost Nation, but that's another story. But that's not what they wanted of me. So they didn't put that on TV. Do you know what I'm saying? So
they just portrayed you as the one in the truck
that
watching.
was, she's helping the guys. That's what she's doing. That's why she's there and watch the monitors and do all that stuff. So, but I did actually go in there, but they grabbed some things, but that's another story again. So again, the most that they got me was like me watching monitors. So what does everybody look like when they watch monitors? That's what I'm saying. Like you're not smiling, you're not laughing, you're not joking, you're just standing, you're sitting there watching monitors and and you're talking to the guys, hey, this is that. So it's not like you're laughing and joking. So
right.
Oh my God, the comments that I got, like, man, this girl's a bitch, she doesn't laugh, she has no personality, no this, no that. And I'm like, what would you like me to do? I'm like, I'm not going to sit there talking to myself, joke around by myself and smile and laugh at when I'm looking at so it took a while for people to kind of know who I am because, TV is going to show what they're going to show. They're not going to show exactly what my personality is. It's just me.
They can edit it however they want the story to portray itself. So.
You know what? Every time if I joke around and laugh or, joke with them or something, they're not throwing that out. They're throwing out whatever, because the show's about the guys. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, there's the guys. That's everybody loves that. Everybody loves when they joke around, but this one over here, she's just watch the monitors, we're not gonna, I mean, it's better now, but in the beginning, that's kind of how.
And watching the monitors is not a little responsibility. I mean, that's a huge part of
you got to focus on not falling asleep.
Which I have done apparently one time on the podcast.
One time.
Apparently.
On the podcast. Oh, that's
he
not
did.
good.
He fell asleep on the podcast.
I don't.
I'll never
There's
let
no
him
video of it, so we'll never know.
I feel bad for whoever you had on that day.
I looked up at the screen and he's sitting there like this, like,
oh God.
I said, Sean, are you sleeping? He's like, no. I'm like, you were sleeping, bro. So how long have you been in the paranormal before, you got, I mean, is this something you've always been doing?
No, when I was younger, I used to think that I see things and hear things, when I was younger, but I'd always just kind of like cover my eyes and just, and my ears. And I don't want to know anything. I'll just, sheets over my head and whatever. So I kind of ignored it through all of that time. But when I was about mid-20s, in the 90s, there was a house that we moved into, my family and I moved into. And in the first year, there was nothing going on. And then all of a sudden, all this activity started. Doors opening and closing, lights turning on and off, the voices, footsteps, knocking, things being moved around, just all these things happening. And just one particular night, was, I think you guys probably already heard the story, but one particular night I just laid down in bed and something grabbed my ankles and held my ankles down. And I got up to look and there was, there was nothing there. But when I did that, they grabbed my wrists and put my wrists down to the bed. And so then I started to, they pushed me down. And then I lifted up my head because I wanted to like yell out to my parents, like for help.
Right.
But then they put their hand over my mouth and then pushed my head down. And when that happened, a full body apparition of a doppelganger of my boyfriend at the time showed up at the bottom of the bed. And he was wearing exactly like he would, like what he was wearing, from his hair to just the shape of his body, his sweatshirt, his sweatpants. And then he walked over to me on the side of the bed and he kind of like leaned over, and his face, there was no face there. It was kind of a like a midnight sky. If you look out to the midnight sky, like that distant dark look. So that was that, but everything else was him. And it was almost like he was just staring. He was like looking at me, but I have no idea for how long. No idea. And then I just remember like he got back up and then started walking. And as soon as he was walking, I remember like hearing his footsteps on the carpet and, like when your thighs hit the fabric. I remember that. And then he went to the side. My door was on the other side. The door opened up by itself. He went out, and that's when I noticed there was nothing from his knees down, but he glided out, I guess. And then the door shut behind him, and then everything was lifted. And even like in the hallway, I remember when the door opened, it was like this glow that was out in the hallway. And then he walked out, and when the door shut, the glow was gone. And so it was kind of like the glow was gone, and then everything was lifted out and lifted up off of me. And ever since that, it took a while for me. Like every night was like the TV was blasting because I'm like, I don't want to hear that anymore. Lights were all on. The closet door was open because it's like, I don't want to see any shadows. I don't want to see anything. So it took a while for me to go to sleep normally. But that was kind of the start of my whole, I need to figure out what the hell that was. Is it going to come back? Can it hurt me more? Like it had enough force to keep me down. And I mean, it didn't hurt me, but it was just, like who wants
it's still a scary experience.
Yeah. And my mother actually had another person. So in the house, like I said, there's always something going on. And she always saw this other person. This other person looked like Abe Lincoln, hat, beard, like everything. So, and that's what hers looked like. I don't know if it could have been the same person, or if it just, there's different people in there. I have no idea. And I never went back to actually investigate. By the time I was comfortable in going back, it was too late. We already moved out, and I obviously couldn't go back to the new people and tell them what happened.
Go knock on the door. I don't know how to say this. But
I know. Like, how do you?
Y'all got some freaky stuff going on in there right now.
Yeah. How do you ask, really? But that was kind of like the whole thing of, and this was again back in the 90s. So internet, or like none of that stuff was out.
Even in the 90s, you didn't talk about this stuff.
And you don't talk. Yeah. So it was very, it was kind of, the library was still a thing. So, like I would just go to the library and try to get as many books as possible, or the bookstore or whatever, and just try to read about that subject as much as possible. And, with the people that I could trust, and talk to, and, the more and more people that I talk to, you get obviously more information. And then eventually I started doing investigations here and there, of course, family and friends' houses, where everybody kind of starts off, and just kind of going from there, just learning as much as I can. I did come across TAPS, which when Jay and Grant used to do all those events a long time ago when they first, TAPS started. And so that's how I met them. And then eventually I started my own team, and then I stopped my team for,
We
for
got
certain
we
reasons.
we got to know, what was the team name?
Oh, Center of Paranormal East, COPE.
Center of Cope.
E.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, and so I did that for a few years, and then while I was doing that, I would help again, like I would help other teams in the area. And then for certain reasons why I stopped my team, I still worked with other teams, TAPS teams, and other organizations. And then that's when I was talking to Jay, and then Ghost Hunters
There
happened.
you go. And there you are.
That's my story.
That's her story, everybody.
That's all I
Thanks for
got.
listening. We'll see you next time. No.
Bye-bye.
So what about the family? You said your mom saw somebody in that house too that looked like Abe Lincoln.
Yes.
What about, I mean, obviously I don't know. I don't do research on people. I'd like to go in blind on these interviews. So what about your dad or siblings? Anybody else?
Um, Now my father has seen things, but he always just shrugs everything off. Like, you girls are crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. But he also had that job where he would go away a lot. So
Okay.
he always kind of left us in the house alone. And my brother knew some things were not right. So he would never come home. He would always stay at his friend's house. So it's like, it was always my mother and I always having to have all of this stuff happen.
So I'm guessing, I'm long shot here, guessing an Italian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guessed it. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just saying you look like an Italian woman, but hey, forget
Yeah.
about it.
But
But,
name doesn't give anything away at all either.
I'm just glad that Sean introduced you, because I'd have butchered the fuck out of your name. So let's be honest with you.
Hey, you wouldn't be the first one, so that's okay.
So
You would have been
said,
Shari D tonight,
yeah.
or Shari Ventura.
Oh, well, that was my married name. I don't know.
Oh,
okay.
you ain't got to bring that up, bro.
I
I
know.
didn't know that's what it was. I found it and I thought it was funny.
He
It sounded
goes-
like a great
he goes-
action hero name.
He was doing research. He goes, oh, she's got another, or what did you say it?
I don't
Alias?
remember what it said. Like
An alias
another
name, Ventura. I'm like, oh,
Well,
okay.
You know what? When I first went on, I was kind of like, it was, I think it was right at, during my divorce. So I told certain people, I don't want to use Ventura. I want to use DeBenedetti, because Ventura is my kids' names. I kind of wanted to keep,
Right.
like, that's separate. And I was taking my name back and all of that. But yet Ventura was still out there. So I was like, okay, well, forget that. So yeah, it's all good though. Yes, it's all good.
All right.
Yeah.
Hold on. We got to go back 2 seconds. I can't let this go, Sean.
Yeah.
She said her dad.
Yeah.
He just shrugs things off, like, yeah, forget about it. And then
Yeah.
he's got the job where he's gone a lot. Sean, are you following me here?
Huh?
Italian family, East Coast, dad's gone a lot.
Gone away on business.
It's all business. It's all business.
Did he own a butcher shop, or what is those, what else we got, a little bakery, or got a little card shark thing in the back?
No.
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 She's like, I can't say it. If I say something,
Yeah.
we're all gonna wake up tomorrow morning with a horse head in our fucking
You
beds.
got some dead fish on your yeah. Yeah, no. This was actually, it's my stepfather. So he's completely not Italian. So yeah, so we actually, which is my other business that I work for when I'm home, is an engineering firm. So he has an engineering construction firm, which we design like commercial swimming pools, water parks, things like that.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's actually what he does. Yeah. Nothing fishy. Nothing, it's all good.
Hey, the construction industry and ghost hunting industries goes hand in hand.
You
Hand
never
in hand.
know what you can find, digging. Yeah.
Professional digging company too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Worked with cement, maybe in the shoe business.
It's some haunted water parks. Yeah.
So they didn't give you too much shit for getting in the paranormal field at all? Like
Who? My parents or
family.
the people that I
Just your family. You're like, immediate family.
Yeah, no, not at all. I've talked about it for so long, and because my mother has all these experiences herself, so she didn't, my brother has many experiences, so nobody kind of looked at me like I was strange in my immediate family. Maybe later, maybe the next section maybe thought I was a little crazy.
Some
But
of the
now,
cousins.
but now that they know what I do, and it's been years later, and they, they see it on TV, they don't think that I'm crazy anymore. So everybody's everybody's good now. But like we talked about before, in the 90s, it's very, you really don't really talk about it, but now it's very much open and
Right.
everything's out there. So
I don't think your family was going to give you too much anyways. I mean, short Italian girl. I mean, your temper's got to be out of this world. I mean, you seem like a sweet lady right now, but come on.
listen, I treat everybody with love and respect. Except for the people that, don't do the same to me. But it's all good. It's all good.
Those short Italian women would be the ones that bust you over the head with some glass, and you got to go to the hospital, and they show up
spoons. No.
Yeah, then they show up the hospital with some homemade food and be like, "Here's your food." Well, I don't know why you're whining about it.
Yeah.
Get it
I don't want you hungry. It's fine, but I don't want you hungry.
Yeah.
How'd you get that black eye? I walked into a door.
Yep. Keep that story straight. Yeah.
So can you cook?
I probably could.
Oh no.
You know what? I hate cooking. I hate it. Like I have no patience at all. So if something was very fast, I'll cook it, but I hate preparing for 2 to 3 hours for something. That's just not me. But I'm not really a food person. I eat to live. I don't live to eat. So yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
And I don't eat cheese either. So I wouldn't cook anything with cheese.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. No cheese.
So a lot. So every time somebody's cooking, they're always like, "Oh, Shari's eating here." I'm like, "Yep." So so nobody can put cheese in their stuff.
I mean, that's more than half than the Italian cooking. There's the bread and the cheese.
I know. Well, I'll eat the bread, but the cheese has to. Yeah. I don't like cheese.
Oh wow. So what about the kid? Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say the only cheese that I like are mozzarella sticks. That's it. That's the only cheese.
That's not really Italian food.
You know what? That's all I got. That's all I eat.
So I mean, you obviously mentioned you had kiddos.
Yeah.
How do the kiddos think about it? Like you being on TV, being gone on the road, traveling I don't know if they're grown. Like I said, I don't do any research. I just get on here and try to be funny.
Try to be. No.
Yeah, I know. See?
I'm kidding.
Shut up, Sean.
Well, we got to make sure this one doesn't fall asleep. So we got to keep him.
Oh, she
my son's 17, my daughter's 19. My daughter can take it or leave it. She would rather leave it. She'll go with me. But she'd rather stay home and do something else if she had the offer to. But my son absolutely loves it. And I just posted today, it was his birthday on November 11. And usually around his birthday, I take him out ghost hunting every year for his birthday with him and his friends. And even like during the year, I'll take him to a few places here and there.
Right.
And I started them when they were little. And because I wanted them to understand what I did. I wanted them to understand that part of the world. I don't know, that part of the, kind of like my other job. This is when I'm going to go away. This is what I do. And I want them to understand this is what it is. Like, I'm not going to go get hurt. Don't worry about it. I kind of want to ease all of that. But I also want to make them understand, you know, what it could be.
Right.
Because, I mean, obviously none of us have the answers, but it's kind of, this is what I do and this is why I do it. Which is obviously to start out helping people, like that's why I was doing it, because of the experiences that I had. I would have loved to have known that there was groups out there that can come in and help.
Right.
Because the stuff that my mother and I were going through was horrible, like you don't even want to go in your own house. You're just too scared to even do anything, or so it's kind of, I wanted to do whatever I could so that I can start helping other people in their homes that went through the same thing. And so, I just wanted them to understand all that. We did have a few homes that were active with my kids.
Mhm.
So again, here's the equipment, here's everything, and I want them to go through all the equipment and have their own ideas and thoughts and everything else about it. Because I don't want to say, well, this is what I think, so this is what you must think, like that's
Right. Right.
how
No, I'm
you
following.
teach. Yeah, so you teach, and learn from each other and do all that stuff. So yeah, it's been great. They all support me. And they watch the shows. It's great. Again, it's my son is more of, like his friends at school. They all want to go ghost hunting, with him and with me. And of course, when that song Ghost Hunter, the Ghostbuster things come on,
Oh,
everybody's
yeah.
like, Nico's mom, and so, so he loves the attention with all of that. So yeah, it's cute. It's cute.
So instead of Friday night, most American households, they would have, movie night, popcorn, and some snacks. Sherry's house, it was get the kids together and ghost hunt the house, huh?
Yeah, well, you know what? They don't like to ghost hunt in the house. It's
Oh,
because this is where we sleep, what I'm
right.
saying? So they don't want to know. I mean, there are things going on in here, and and my son sees quite a bit, and he'll, so a lot of times he'll actually be sleeping somewhere else because he can't take it in here. So he needs like a little break from this house and then go somewhere else. And my daughter's more like, I don't want to know, I don't want to know, I don't want to know. And so she'll just go into her room and just, kind of go in there. But if we go anywhere else, they will absolutely, take out the equipment and start. Yeah.
Coolest
So,
mom ever.
What?
you say?
It's the coolest mom ever.
Oh.
Coolest mom ever.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, just don't piss her off.
No.
Yeah, right.
I don't do voodoo or anything. Not yet. Not yet.
Oh,
She'll she'll beat your ass with a wooden spoon and then put an X on you.
at the very least, right?
Yeah. Got to keep them in order.
So
I'm
Sherry,
sure though.
Yeah.
I'm sure though, you said they're 17 and 19. So I mean they were early teenage years when you first got on TV. I'm sure they for a little bit walked around with their chest out, like, yeah, my mom's on TV. What?
I don't I don't know. I don't know. I don't really, you know what? I honestly don't know. Like a lot of their parents knew, but they know me as me. So it wasn't,
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, I don't act different towards the, like
Right.
I'm just one of the mothers. Like, no, I don't do the cupcakes and all that crap, but like but I'm just like one of the mothers that, just been chit-chatting, and they know that I've done this for all this years. Um, yeah, so like nothing really changed too much with it. Um, you know, yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah.
so I've got to know, Sherry, you have been to, I mean, I'd have to imagine hundreds of places investigating. Um, can you even begin to pick a favorite place that you've ever investigated? Whether it's with the show or on your own, either.
Yeah. No, I honestly do not have, um, I don't really have a favorite. Um, and I have a very, very bad memory. So a lot of those places I don't even remember. Um, it would just be, something that had a lot of activity. And there are um a few places. So our season 15, so we had like 8 episodes
Mhm.
in the fall, and then we'll have 8 episodes coming up at some time. I'm not sure. They didn't give us a date yet. But those 8 episodes, there is a location that we did. We were the only people that were able to investigate this place, which, I mean, is great for us. But it was with the history in it, we the thing one we caught something, and it was kind of like two things happening at once. And those it was almost like, I'm trying to think of like what I can say, what I can't say.
Okay, I can see your wheels turning. You're like,
Oh my
I
God,
want to say something, but I'm not allowed to.
While we sit here and hope she slips, right?
I
Yes.
know. Because like, yeah, well, I mean, it's so crazy. It's like one of the craziest experiences that I've had. It was almost like something like a person was on his way dying, okay? And somebody was watching that person, and they were like, see, if you see somebody and you like know that they're about to die, and you're kind of like gasping for air because you're like, oh my God. So you have two different things happening at one time, and you hear both of them happening. And it's so hard to explain without actually telling you the whole thing, but it was so crazy. It was so crazy. Like, and our minds were like, what the hell is this? And trying to like figure all of this out, and then coming to that conclusion, like, holy that just happened.
Wow.
So it's sad, of course, but it's interesting for us, and amazing that because obviously it's a residual,
Mhm.
sound, and we happened to be there at the right time to catch it, and it was just absolutely amazing.
Not only
Um,
catch one, but you caught both of the residuals at the same
yeah,
time.
yeah, it's something was over there and something was over there, and we just happened to be right at that location to
Wow.
both of those things happening, and it was a pretty amazing. Um, we've been to some large locations, and even like the ships are, pretty cool to investigate.
The ships are weird. We went on one over the summer, and I was just, it, I'm always drawn by the history and this or that too, but they're weird. They're just, I don't know. I don't know. They're weird.
They were
There's
weird,
the
or
the
just weird.
feeling in there is just, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
See,
Anyways,
in the experience that you just described, obviously, we're not going to be able to get you more information, but definitely looking forward to seeing that happen on TV.
yeah.
Is one of the reasons that Ghost Hunters is one of my personal favorite shows because it's it's real.
Mhm.
And as investigators, you know, the average Joe can tune in and watch that show, and they're going to sit there and think that 90% of it is fake. But there's so many shows out there. I'm not going to get into which ones I like or don't like right now. I believe Sherry knows them. But there are Ghost Hunters has always had not just an authentic feel because of the cast. The cast has always just been real people
Mhm.
doing a real investigation and really trying to get answers. Oh, I could have said it,
Well,
but that'll send me off on a
this way
tangent.
it's
So
not on
I'll
any
try.
audio.
Yeah. Um, but like I said, compared to some of these other shows that just are entertainment
Yeah.
as opposed to authentic paranormal investigation, that's what I think keeps Ghost Hunters alive with the fans and the investigators. It's just it's authentic, and there's not many out there that you can watch and have that same feeling.
Right. A lot of people do ask, um, what shows I watch, and I'm like, like I can't watch it's hard for me to watch a show when I'm not there. Like, you can't experience these things yourself. You want to see for yourself. You don't know what's going on over here, over there, what's, you know what I'm saying? So that's very difficult. And secondly, and we always tell people, like, we're not casted. We are a team that go out. We hired the production company to follow us. We do what we want to do. We do what we normally do on any investigation, whether we're home or on TV or whatever. We go through the same protocols that we always go through. And, you know, you guys follow us. We do whatever we want. Having, you know, and obviously whatever it comes, like, we go through all of our stuff. Production isn't allowed to touch our stuff. Like, we go through all of that. All, you know, to get whatever evidence that we can get. Having said that, there are other people, shows, whether on TV, off TV, you know, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. There are other things out there that the people are casted. When the people are casted, it's kind of like you're just, you know, like picking people and throwing them together to try to, you know, like, go out and investigate. First of all, you know, it's very difficult to investigate with people you don't know. You know, like, you kind of have to be
You
able
gotta
to
bond. You gotta,
yeah. And there's a lot of people you can tell that when they're casted, it's like, this isn't really, you know, like, there's
Mhm.
whatever going on. So
There's
you
no
know,
cohesiveness.
there's, you know, but a lot of competition, a lot of, you know, oh, I did this and I did that and I see this and I see that. And it's like, you start, like, you can't trust anybody, because it's hard to trust, because it's like, you could tell that, like, they're not working well, they're not meshing well, they're not, you know, it's more of a competition now, like, between them, of who does what and who gets what and stuff like that. And it gets hard to, you know, be able to see that and hear that. So, and also, production tells them what to do. When you're being casted, production companies will tell them, okay, this is what you guys need to do. You know, so the reality of the shows it's not reality anymore, you know. And I mean, I know by when I was having there was a couple people that called me to be on shows. And so it was like a little interview. And they used to ask me questions. And they would ask me the same question because they're looking for a different answer from me. And I was like, what do you want? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't have any time.
Right. I don't
I gotta
understand.
ask this question, you know, like, answer this. And they're like, well, I think, you know, you should say this, that. And I'm like, why should I say that? Like, that's not what that's not me. That's not what I want. That's not what I believe. That's not my answer. Like, I don't get it. And yeah, so they didn't like that. I had another one that actually stopped recording and said, when I ask you this and this, this is what you need to say. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I feel weird not even swearing, but oh my God. You know, so I'm like,
All
and,
right.
and then and then she's, you know, started the recording again, and then she asked me again. And I went, like, in a roundabout way to be, like, very broad in my answer, because that's kind of how she wanted. I said, but then at the end, but that's not how I feel. Blah, 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 blah. And then I was back to giving my answer again, because I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Don't
you want to stay true to yourself.
yeah. And I'm like, don't tell me what to say. Don't tell me what to do. Like, that's not what I'm looking for. And, you know, and then I would talk to other people, be like, well, this is what we're looking for, you know, and I'm like, that's not me. I said, no, like, I need to do what I want. I need to say what I want. I don't, like, you know, like, reputation is everything. You have you need to be you. Yeah. So there's a lot of people that I talk to in the production world that I did not like. I did not like at all. This other person wanted me to be on a show with some other guy. I'm not really sure who the guy was. And I looked up who the guy was, and I've never heard of him, but I like saw some videos of him talking and this and that, and I was like, no way. Like there's no way I would ever partner up with this person, because he was kind of, everything is about me. And I was
Right,
like,
right.
nope. So I already knew that partnership would have never worked either. Yeah, so I mean, as of right now, I don't think that I could ever work with anybody else except for the team that I'm with. Like we're comfortable with each other. We are very open with everything. We teach each other, we learn from each other. We're, hey, what do you think? What do you think? There's no person higher, person lower, anything. It's just all even, and let's try to figure this out, because ultimately we're here for the client,
And
so
at the end of the day, it shows in the TV show.
yeah.
It shows that, in ra- reality TV. Okay, so it's all based reality TV, but the stigma of reality TV is not really what it is. A lot of it's scripted, and
Yeah.
what you're still getting out of Ghost Hunters is this is controlled by you guys.
Yeah.
You guys control everything. You hire the production company.
Yeah.
You guys go through the footage. You decide what's in the TV show. This is your reality of your investigation, not some Yahoo that is 2,000 miles in a studio or a corporate thing in LA saying, no, that's, we don't like that. That's not demon enough or
Yeah.
negative enough. This isn't this or that. Let's soup this up. We got to get ratings, people.
Mhm.
And that's the blessing of it all is, we still in the paranormal field have what you guys are doing.
Right.
And we talk about this a lot lately in the fact that there's now a shift in watching, paranormal stuff on TV. It's shifting a lot from being on network TV, being on cable TV, to now it's a lot of streaming. It's YouTube platform, it's the TikTok platform, and now you're seeing a new genre of people, and it is drawing all of the now younger generation that
Mhm.
have just only grown up on social media,
Right.
the age of the internet and everything else, and they're shifting and going that way exclusively, and they're not turning on the travel channel. They're
Right.
not Discovery Plus. They're not watching these shows anymore. Is that something that you guys are actually worried about?
Well, I think that they want to obviously, stick with trying to do, like whatever we can 2023-ish, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um and when we did go to streaming, we had a lot of people complaining about that. Like what are you doing? I'm not going streaming. I can only do, the regular TV and this and that. Um so that was a huge complaint. So we still need to be on TV for, for those people, and the streaming people need to be on streaming. So I mean, right now we have both. Can we do other things, maybe like on YouTube or TikTok? I mean, sure. We haven't done that yet, but we haven't even started working so far this year. So who knows what our
Right.
next steps are. But you do have to, when we okayed the contract, with Travel Channel, and then Discovery Plus,
Mhm.
took off.
Yeah.
Well, they took us off of Travel Channel, and which we didn't have any say. It wasn't, we're not the ones to say whatever. But they took us off, and people were like screaming at us. And so of course the four of us are over here. We're the ones who get screamed at, because
Mhm.
they weren't screaming at them. And we're like, well, we can't, like we didn't even know, like they didn't even tell us. So after all of that, there was enough people to, scream at them. And so finally, Jay's just like, I signed the contract with Travel. So for you to like all of a sudden, take this off, and like it's not fair. It's not fair for the travel people. It's not fair that you're making people go on Discovery Plus Like it's you're not being fair to the people, and those are those are our fans, those are our people. We want to make them happy. So eventually, so now we are on travel, now we are on Discovery. It's whatever the people want. I know Jay will try to do whatever he can for his fans, because I mean this is why we put things out there, is for them.
So I'm going to show you something that I saw on Facebook today.
Mhm.
Let's see if you can.
No.
You know exactly what this is. Let's.
We are
And
not
we're
having
gonna.
a portable car toilet
And who
that
posted
lets you
this?
poo while driving.
So I showed her a picture that Jason Hawes had posted on his Taps page on Facebook, and it says, "I present you the way to make the most awkward car ride ever. Hashtag what the fuck. It is a portable car toilet that lets you poo while you're driving."
It is genius. It's a genius invention.
I didn't screenshot your comment, but I did read it. Do you remember what you said to him?
Something to the effect of, "I don't care what you boys think, but we are not having that in the van." Yeah. There's no way I'm going to be driving around with the boys pooping on the driver's seat. No.
Sherry,
no.
we gotta go. You gotta get to the case as fast as you can.
No.
I mean, things happen.
Yeah, no. Listen, the four of us are very close, but we're not that close. Okay. Porta potties are close enough when we have to deal with porta potties, but yeah, no.
So let's talk behind the scenes. I mean, I obviously I don't know the gentleman like you do. I've met him, just a couple times, but you can tell that they've got some jokes, some pranks. So let's talk a little bit about that. What's the best prank that you can remember you guys playing on each other? Because I'm sure it happens every case, every time.
I know there's so much. Jay gets all of us. And I don't know, he gets Steve a lot, of course. Yeah, I don't, you know what, the three of them go after it all the time. I'm just trying to think. I mean, oh my God, there was one, and it's probably not even going to be funny here, but it was so funny at the time because
I'm sure there was an inside joke to it or something.
well, you know what? All he did is he put like this really long piece of tape on the back of Steve. And it was like pretty obvious, but we were all like looking at like, what the hell is he doing? But he walked around for so long with this thing on the back of his jacket. And then all of a sudden everybody started doing jokes about it. Oh yeah, I remember, back in the 80s when we had cassette tape, and be like, oh yeah, do you have any scotch tape with you? Like, and like just all the comments over and over and over again. And he had no idea what we were talking about, and we had like this cassette tape because we were doing some, trying to figure out some audio stuff. We had cassette tape and we're like, oh yeah, you want to try this tape? So every little thing had the word tape. And we were cracking up so much. And Steve was just like, he had no idea. And we were crying, absolutely crying. And Dave's trying to take a picture and he's like, yeah, make the arm, the muscle thing and kind of go like this, like point down to your back. And so and Steve's doing all of these little motions because Dave's like, oh yeah, do this, let's take some pictures, just joking around of the tape, but Steve didn't know. But I mean, just stupid shit like that. And oh my God, but it would last an hour and he would have no idea. Like he's like couldn't figure out why everybody's like crying, laughing. Oh my God. And I don't, it's just stuff like that. It's so hard to describe. And but yeah, this is what we do. And of course we scare each other all the time.
I was gonna say, I wonder if any of you guys have ever put like one of those fake spiders on Steve's pillow when he wakes up, because I know he's deathly afraid of spiders.
Well, none of us are in his room, so no.
Oh, touche. Touche.
No,
Maybe I
but-
should ask Tango that question. They're a little closer than
Yep.
never mind.
Yeah.
That should be a
Um,
Tango question.
Yes. But there was, I know, they had the one door shut and Jay put, I think like a butterfly or moth or something. I don't know. He put something in the van and shut the door. So this way he was like in the van by himself. And then so all he heard was stuff being smashed all over the place and the van's like rocking back and forth. And he's like, oh, and then because he was like trying to smash this whatever bug like with the computer stuff. And so he's like freaking out. And so finally, like he opens up the door and poor Dave was still in there. So Dave was like, he was on the floor in like a fetal position. Like
Oh shit.
he was so scared. And Dave didn't know that he was in there. He thought it was just Steve in there. So Steve was like going ape shit in there. And poor Dave was stuck in there.
I
My
think
Sounds
that
like we
is-
need a bloopers episode or something.
we
Oh,
we
yeah, for sure.
do. We really
Sure.
do. I mean, one time Dave and I, we were at a castle, might have been that one in Rhode Island. And in one of the rooms, it was like the tall, like, like the circle rooms and the windows are really, really high. And earlier that day, we just saw like a shitload of bats just like coming in.
Okay.
And so there were obviously bats in this place. And so Dave and I went out, we did a run, and in this room there was a ceiling fan. But when it's on, it sounds like the little squeaks like that bats make. And we're like,
Oh shit.
so we're thinking like, oh my God, like, bats, so with flashlight, we noticed it was the fan, like, okay. So when I told Dave, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, there was a fake bat that was in the other room. And it was like this big bat, like like the rubber bats.
Right.
And I'm like, I think we should go get that and put it up in the put it up in one of the windows. And so we went to the other room, got the bat, brought it in here. He got on the ladder, he put the bat right on there. And we, of course, we kept the ceiling fan on. Well, they never got to that room until I think like 2 days later. This place is like huge. So they didn't get to that. So they were about to go in that room and I'm like, Dave, like you got to make sure that bat's still there and make sure the ceiling fan is on because they're about to go in there. So he ran all the way up there, making sure everything was. And he's like, the fan's not making that noise. And I'm like, shit. But so anyway, so they go up there, but they're still looking around. Now in your mind, that there's bats there.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay's hates bats. And of course, Steve, is afraid of everything, so they went into that room and then they, of course, put the flashlight on that bat. So they screamed, but I never got the video of it. They came down and I was like, how'd it go? And they're like, not bad, and they would tell us, I'm like, anything else happened? Nope, nothing else happened. Nothing happened.
Nothing at all.
Circle room, you guys didn't get any, nope. And then I looked at the cameraman. He's like, he's shaking his head, yes, and he's smiling. And I was like, I'm like, we got you with the bat. You screamed. He's like, so yeah. So
You
knew
both
it
of
was
them.
us,
Both
but
of
yeah.
them screamed.
They both screamed, but I had no camera. I have nothing of it. I'm like, but at least I know I got this. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things when you have team and you've been together, you got to have the fun times. You got to crack on each other. You got to play the pranks. That's just, it lightens the mood and what you're trying to do.
What? You're there for how many hours?
Mhm.
And for a whole week, and working all those hours and stuff. So yeah, so you gotta have some fun time,
Absolutely. So talking about fun times, what do you do on your off time? What's like your go-to thing? Like some people fish, some people golf, some, what is your thing?
You know what? Honestly, when I come home, I spend as much time with the kids because I don't see them, when I'm
Right.
gone. So I spend as much time with them doing whatever they would like. And like I said, I have my other part-time job because I don't make $1.2 million an episode or whatever that paperwork.
According to Wikipedia, you do.
Yeah, I don't know. So I still work my other job. But I mean, fun. We live on the water, so I love the ocean and, boating and stuff like that. And do other ghost hunting for myself, like ghost hunting, like for fun and not for,
Right.
for work, for clients. It's kind of like, oh, let's, try different things, and go with other people, not, just my team, just go hunting. But I mean, that's pretty much it, I mean, just trying to, because we're gone so long, just, like meeting up with family, friends, kids and more
Going
work.
out, going out to dinner a lot because you don't
Yeah.
cook.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because I don't cook. So, yeah. I don't really do too much, that much fun stuff, but I really do more of my fun, like doing the events and going
Yeah.
out and meeting people and having a few drinks and doing things like that. I love doing that, getting out. My
Absolutely.
adult fun time. So yeah.
So I'm going to steal this question from a good friend of mine, Kalani Smith. Tell us one weird fact about you.
Oh my gosh, one weird fact.
I did his podcast the other day and he asked me that question. I said, ooh, I like that question. I'm stealing it.
Yeah.
And my answer was, I don't swim.
Is it that you can't, or you just don't want to, or you?
Think straight to the
No,
bottom.
I just sink.
Oh, that's not good. I don't, you know what? I don't like to swim in the ocean because the things
So-
in there, the sharks,
Sharks.
I don't want anything to brush up against me. Like I am very nervous of the ocean. But yeah, but I do love to like go boating and jet skiing and all that. I do love that. A weird thing about me. Somebody did ask me this before, on a podcast, and my answer was really, that I was named after a horse. I actually posted that because I'm like, yeah, I never actually told anybody, but my cousin, I'm from upstate New York.
Mhm.
My cousin, one of my cousins owned horses and, they did racing and stuff. And hopefully nobody's going to comment the racing is bad and all this other crap. But
Calm down, everybody.
oh my God, I'm telling you, the
Seriously.
comments that you get. Oh, yeah. So there was a racing horse, and my mother was like in love with like one of his horses, and the name was Shari Lou, and so she took the Shari from that, and yeah, so I was named after a racing horse. That's what.
Hey, that's a
That's
cool
my
weird fact. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So on the Old World Paranormal Podcast, every episode, we ask one famous question to everybody. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. You get one night, one place, one night, one investigation, but you only are allowed to take 3 pieces of equipment. What are you taking?
I
I
thought that answer would come quick.
well, I'm trying to, because I love thermal,
Okay.
but it doesn't have a recorder, so I have to bring my recorder. And I kind of I've been using 2 pieces, but I can only pick one. I know. I think I like my Flux response device, because it has it's the tripod one, and it has the yes and the no, and it's pretty not when it's pretty. I didn't finish that.
It's a pretty triangle.
And it's purple because he made me a purple one. That's I didn't finish my but it's I love it just because when it's working, with somebody that is actually working it correctly. It's been hitting on key, like yeses and nos, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I do like the other one, like the V pod, which is sort of like the REM pod, but I do, the V pod has the other part which has like a little musical thing to it. So I've been using that more with children.
Okay.
Because it's just like, well, there's musical, and they notice, they love to like, play with it and touch it. And at least like, here you go, you can play with it. And now you can answer some questions with it, and so that's been working out really, really well with me. But for, if I was to pick three, thermal, I love thermal, and recorder, because you have to. And I just think that the recorders that we use are better than the camera recorders, if you know what I'm saying. And then my flux response device. So those are kind of like my three that I would definitely take.
Very good choices. What do
Yeah.
you think, Sean?
I agree. I mean, those are the flux, like that's a unique piece, I think. But yeah, nothing like pumpkin pie, but it's pretty good.
Oh, I do like pumpkin pie. You're right.
Can you guess who that might have been? Someone that we had on the podcast?
That is
That was one of the
teammate
lead-
on your show.
that said he would have pumpkin pie.
That was
Here
one of his
comes the
things.
here.
Oh, yes, Dustin. Okay. Okay. Well, because it came to me as Dustin, because he's the sweets person. Like he
Uh-huh.
dessert. You could talk about anything, and everything is dessert. But I was thinking of the other three. That's why I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's not on all of them, but
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
he's one of our
Definitely good answers,
favorites.
though. It's always interesting to hear
Good
from our
guy.
guests what kind of things they would think.
Yeah. I could see him saying that. Could
Yeah,
see it.
he only picked one piece of equipment.
The pumpkin pie.
No,
Or did
he-
really pick something?
he said a pumpkin pie,
Yeah.
a notebook, and a recorder.
Oh.
So I mean, I guess if you're hungry, if you want to pick
I
one of them,
I
we
can
just
I can see. Every time I see him, he's got food. Sweets.
Uh-huh.
circus peanuts.
Circus peanuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like circus peanuts too. Yeah.
Well, Shari, it was such a delight to have you on our podcast. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
We're hoping that, obviously we'll see you on TV. I don't know. I mean, we got to see you in November, and hopefully sometime this year we'll get
Yeah.
to see you again.
Yeah. I'm
I know
hoping at some point get out to the Bell Mansion again.
it's a decent place. It's a little shack. No
Yeah,
big
you know
deal.
what? It's beautiful.
Little hole in the wall.
Beautiful.
Well,
No, it was beautiful. I absolutely loved it there. Great activity. So you guys have a really, really nice place.
yeah, it's got amazing activity. Wink,
Yeah.
wink.
Yes, wink,
wink,
wink.
wink.
Hey, I would go there again. So you know what? If there was no activity, I wouldn't have said that. So
Right. I'm just busting your balls, okay? Forget about it.
yeah.
We appreciate you, Shari. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you in the near future. I know we're working on a couple things here, and hopefully we can, with your schedule, we can get you to come for some more events.
Yeah, I would love to.
All right, guys. Till next time, next week. I don't even know who's next week.
Nick, are we not going to give her an opportunity to let people know how to follow her and stuff? Like,
Let
just
me
don't
think.
boot her off like that. That's
ya.
all right. I'll take it.
I
from here.
suppose
guys.
I forgot about it.
Yes. At the end of all of our podcasts, we always give our guests an opportunity to let people know how they can be followed, where they can watch you in action and things like that. So go ahead and take a moment to let everybody know all that cool information.
Okay. So Ghost Hunters and and Ghost Nation. But Ghost Hunters Travel Channel and Discovery Plus. And we do have like I said, 8 more episodes of season 15 coming up at some point. But we will be posting that. You can follow me on at Shari Marie 826, which is SHARIMARIE 826 at either Twitter or Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I don't know if there's anything else. Or follow my page. Just look me up, Shari DeBenedetti.
What's your favorite social media platform?
God, honestly, I don't I have an issue with every single one.
Which
But
one are you most active on?
Yeah, I was just saying, if you pick up your phone right now, which one are you going to go to? most likely?
Facebook and Instagram are the ones that I'm usually more on. I get more activity going through those two. So yeah. So either one.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, thank you. I don't
You're
know. Can I end the show now, Sean? That I F that all up.
I think you're good. I think we can wrap it up.
You can wrap it up now.
Hey,
Wrap
he
it
didn't
up.
fall asleep, so that's good, right?
Of course not. I still don't think I did the first time, but he insists I did.
I have
Okay.
to pull up that footage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Put it on the handy dandy Facebook.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Till next time. Thank you again, Shari, and we'll see you guys on the next episode, which will be episode 48. And I would know who that is if I would stroll to my left and look at the calendar, but I'm not going to.
Nope.
So we'll see you next week, guys. Thank you.